Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutter by Heidi. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I wanted to share with you a couple of lovely new items. First of all is Dragonfly Garden, which is a super new stamp and punch combination that is part of the Dandy Garden suite, which also comes with, coordinates with Garden Wishes and some beautiful paper. I'm not using the paper today because today I'm using the paper that you can get for free. So if you imagine that this bundle, 30 odd, just about £30, add a couple of items, a couple of ink pads or an ink pad and some paper, and you can choose this pack of designer series paper for free. So 48 sheets of 6x6 paper. You've got two designs. One is the bubbles and the reverse is a lovely ombre, and it comes in 4 colours. So you've got bubbles in Blackberry Bliss and Granny Apple Green. You've then got ombre in Blackberry Bliss and Granny Apple Green. And then the other colour is Rococo Rose with Bermuda Bay. And again, that comes in both the ombre and the bubbles kind of paper. So that you get, as I say, absolutely for free, which is great for card making. Perfect size at 6x6 for you to make card fronts and have some extra for embellishments as well. Ignore my packaging. So this is the card I'm making. It's just a simple fold back card, and you'll see I've used the stamp set for the Dragonfly, which I've then inked and coloured. I've used the lovely floral image for this panel here, and as then the ombre paper, by sort of turning it up you just get a slightly different effect. And then all I've done is use the postage stamp punch for the sentiment. But as I say, just a fun card. I've forgotten to put my panel of Whisper White in the middle there, but hey, yeah, nothing new there. So that's the one colourway. So grey apple green, a bit of Blackberry Bliss. So I thought I'd do the other one with the Rococo Rose and the Blackberry Bermuda Bay paper even. So let's get started with the card. I haven't done any prep in advance, so let's just wing it as we go along. So start off with, you're obviously going to need a piece of card. So it's a standard half a sheet of A4, and you're going to cut that to 14.5 or 5 3/4 inches and score it in half as you would normally. So 10.5, 4 1/8, and then move it across, and you're going to then score at 17.5, so 6 7/8, and that just creates our little fold back flap. So fold it to reinforce in the direction of the scoring, and then fold it back on itself. Just give that a nice quick reinforce with our bone folder. Yeah. Okay, so then you're going to want some DSP. So the DSP pieces that you want in the Bermuda Bay, you'll see I've got here. So you're going to want a piece that's 14.5 by 6.5. So 6.5, and I'm just cutting it off at the darker end. So that's going to be our piece to go on the left-hand side here, like so. I'm then going to cut a piece for the right hand side, which is 3.5 by 14.5. Like so. And then the centre piece, I'm just going to take a piece of the bubbles of paper and cut that at 3 centimetres. Yeah. So I'm just cutting at 3 centimetres on the right hand side there, just easier to butt up the majority of the paper, get a nice straight cut. So that's going to go in the middle there as well. Now the other thing you'll need is a piece of Whisper White to go on the inside, because it's quite a dark, well, it's up to you. I think it's quite a dark card, so I prefer when it's a darkish card just to put a panel of Whisper White on that. So the Whisper White, I have forgotten to make a note of the measurements, probably because I just have. Okay, so grab the old rulery. And so we're looking at 6.5 again, yeah. So just cut a piece, 6.5. Okay, So that's all I think that's all my cutting and scoring done. So these are our panels. So this panel is going to go on the front here, but what I'm going to do is obviously stamp on that piece. And on that one, that's our panel for the middle. Now obviously you can add your sentiment to that. I'm just going to keep that blank, so I've got a sentiment to go on the front. And I thought this is a lovely card for kind of the start of the year. It's been a bit of a, you know, last year, thank goodness, we've kicked 2020 into touch. So this is a great card for sending to people for the new year. So this centre panel, I'm not stamping on at all, so I'm just going to add that to my kind of fold back flap. So, and I've deliberately kept this at the boards. I quite like on these cards. Oh, I didn't even trim that one. Okay, so if you do that and don't trim it, as I've done there, then just come in with your snips and trim that flush. The great thing about this is exactly that I want a border either side, but I'm not bothering with a border at the bottom. So it is just straight. Okay, so this is the orientation of my paper. As I said, I'm going to have the dark at the top coming to light and dark coming to light, just to vary it slightly. And I've got my lovely floral image here. And these are kind of like, I think you call them Lazy Susans in the States, Echinacea. Was it Black-Eyed Susans? Sorry, not Lazy Susans, that's something totally different. Black-Eyed Susans. These are, yeah, Echinacea flowers. Yeah, Lazy Susans are things that goes in the middle of the table, isn't it, and turns round. That you have in, I always think of those in Chinese restaurants. We used to go to a fabulous Chinese restaurant with my parents in Birmingham, Henry Wong's, absolutely amazing Chinese restaurant. In fact, his son's now taken over. Absolutely fantastic. So that's the stamping I've done on that piece. I'm going to do a bit of colouring on that. I'm then going to use, again, my Memento ink and grab the little sort of, I'm going to say swarm. Swarm doesn't sound very nice, but they're like there must be a collective noun, mustn't there, for butterflies. I'm sure there's somebody out there will know. I'm then just going to use my Blackberry Bliss ink, and I've put some just on the edge of a, on the end of a block. I'm just going to use that to colour in those Echinacea flowers. Obviously these blender pens, you know, they're such a staple of my crafty kind of stash. I'm probably going to run way over time on this, aren't I? So just colouring, and obviously you can do as much or as little colouring as you like. I'm just highlighting those flowers there on each of the stems. Here we go. Now that panel can go onto the front of our card. Loving the new stamping seal. I suppose it's not that new now, it came out in the catalogue. Probably because I'm still using the using up my snail stash. Might have just stocked up a little bit on snail. Maybe. It's because I obviously have some for my classes. That used to be my sort of, you know, glue, because we can hold the glue in stock, so I usually have that available, so if anybody turns up to class without their glue, they still have they can still join in easily and just purchase on the day. There we go. So there's my flowers. Let's crack on with colouring my butterflies, or even dragonflies. Ugh, gosh, words are getting away with me. You can tell I haven't done any videos for a little while. All at 6s and 7s. So ink up your dragonfly, and then just pop that like so. We're going to come in with the fabulous punch. Love coordinating punches and stamps, you know that. And what I'm going to do actually before I punch is I'm going to do some colouring. So let me just show you the way I've coloured the butterflies. I have just got a couple of SAS sponge daubers, so my one for Blackberry Bliss, my one for Bermuda Bay. And I'm just going to come in with my Blackberry Bliss and just sponge over the centre, because I don't want too solid a colour, if that makes sense. I want to kind of keep, because the wings, I love the iridescence of the wings. I know some people don't like dragonflies. I think they are just amazing creatures. I had a book for my children when they were small called Are You a Dragonfly? They did a whole series that I'm going to have to find again, because they taught you through the life cycle of various creatures, so from ladybirds and dragonflies, butterflies, and my boys absolutely loved them. Really amazing, and gave you a real insight into these fabulous creatures. And they also remind me of sailing, because, you know, as many of you know, my husband sails quite a bit. I don't sail as much. I'm just going to do the same kind of effect. Bit of sponge daubering, but just with what's left, and then just come in and just punch out a little one at the top. And so obviously we often see them on the water. So it's the other thing. Okay, shaping, bone folder, just very simply, and then bend the wings back against the body. So there's another couple I've done here, and obviously you can just add as many or as few butterflies as you like. And all I'm doing to add those, you can see this one is on the reverse, so you could always, actually you could double side that if you wanted to, so that the wings had kind of got a double effect. So let me show you what I mean. Not being very comprehensive. So just add some glue down to the centre of the body and add that onto the top of another butterfly, because obviously they often have. So you kind of get this lovely double effect, and then obviously just pop that. The reason I've done that is because I don't like to have my mistakes showing. So I'm just going to pop that one there, so that when you have a look on the reverse, actually you're not going to see it anyway, but you might have seen the reverse of the stamping, so I just like to cover that up. I don't like to waste stuff either. So here we go, another butterfly. I think that it's not a colour combination I've gone for, but I do think it's rather lovely actually. Now that it's done. So again, just shape the little wings and add a little bit of glue. I just like the fact that there's a bit of dimension on these. And then we're almost done. All that's left is to do the sentiment. So I think what I'm going to do is probably use some of the Bermuda Bay. And you've got a choice really. You could if you wanted to, which I think in fact I might do. I'm going to stamp and punch using some of the paper. You know, when it comes for free, you can go to town and use it as you wish, and you can obviously use that in your layers as well. So I'm going to just punch a simple postage stamp punch from some Bermuda Bay, which is what I'm going to cut in half. I'm actually going to stamp, thinking about it, on this one. Where's my Simply chamois? Oh gosh, whoopsie, the state of my chamois, it is so discoloured. I've done a lot of stamping. I'm in the middle of prepping lots of samples at the moment for the new catalogue. So this is obviously a little share of some ideas. I have got loads of ideas with this catalogue, so lots of lovely things to come. So there's my postage stamp. I'm going to cut this one in half or thereabouts, and I'm going to punch a second one from this scrap of paper to go on the reverse, because obviously once you've cut in half you're going to have a gap, so on the reverse of that I just want to pretty it up a little bit. Okay, so ink away. As you can see, I'm about to get my clumsy face on. So just a bit of glue on the back of those, layer up so that there's a nice little border, and then I'm going to attach my glue onto my second layer, and that's going to just go on the back there preferably lined up. There we go. And then, because I've already got some dimension, I don't want to add anything extra. I'm just going to put "May good things grow all year long," which is a sentiment I think we all would love to see for this this coming year. Let's hope it's in a bit. So there we go. 2 cards using some lovely free celebration paper, using the Dragonfly Duet Punch and the Dragonfly Garden stamp set, both of which are available in the January to June catalogue. If you'd like to purchase them, the links are in the description box below, or pop along to my blog where I'll put all the measurements, and you can also find the links to products there. Thanks for watching. Do come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.